telling the people out there on our other shows, get involved. Maybe you want to run for office. So I thought if we shared a little of that, it might stimulate someone else to think about running.
You know, and for us being so small, we have the benefit of being able to push some things off a little bit. You know, I've spent some time outdoor knocking right now. I talked a lot about what I've heard, but really the thing that's blowing me away is just the amount of community support that we have for the direction that we've been moving. You know, you can't be all things to all people in a community.
Right.
It's just not possible.
Right.
But as we've been out talking with people, I've just had an overwhelming positive response that I haven't really expected yet.
Right.
So
Right.
that's really going to be helpful as we're moving on, talking to other people, trying to get consensus, understanding what they want, and trying to put it in perspective as we move ahead. I've just been feeling a lot of support, which has been very nice.
And we've just got a little bit of time left. Is there anything either of you would like to add to what you've said?
Go ahead.
Well, I really feel like this is a make or break time for Brooklyn Park, because we do have some serious economic times ahead. And as our own mayor said just a couple weeks ago, we have to look at our future as we are on our own, because the direction of government has changed and has put us in a direction where we need to be more self-sufficient. And that's why we need to really focus on growing Brooklyn Park's economy, business and community, improving our property values, and growing from within so we can be our own self-sustaining community.
Okay, do you have a statement now that you had a chance to think a little?
No, yeah, I appreciate that. I'll just kind of take off on what she had to say. And ASIA, we were lucky enough to do that about 3 years ago, to really get in there and look at what's going to take for our community to exist into the future, because we were on the brink of not being able to make it. And I don't hear that anymore. I hear that people just love the community, they love their neighbors. We're getting our sense of community back again. And I just am really happy with the direction that we're going. And if we can continue in that direction, you'll see ASIA on the map for many, many years to come.
Well, I want to thank both of you for coming and sharing your time and your ideas with our wider audience out there. And we want to encourage those of you out there that take the issues that these people have brought up, particularly if it's in the city of Osseo or in the city of Brooklyn Park, and contact these people that are running. Give them your ideas and share your thoughts on what you've heard tonight, because it's important for you to take and prepare a little bit so that you'll be ready on November 6th to know what you want the person you're going to vote for to do and to be involved with. So there's a lot of people out there eligible that aren't registered, right?
You know, it's true. And even just updating registration is important. Anytime you move, change your name, like if you get married or divorced. Or if you haven't voted for 4 consecutive years. And yeah, then you need to submit a new registration.
So if any of you out there fit any of those categories, think about the fact that you might want to get ready and register to vote for this fall's election. The point at which somebody in the past needs to re-register would be these things that you just mentioned, right? So because if you registered over 4 years ago, that's not going to count, right?
If you registered over 4 years ago, but then you haven't voted for 4 years, then you need to re-register. There is a really great tool on the website now that allows people to actually look up and check their registration status. So if people are not sure if they're registered or not, which is very easy to not necessarily remember, then they can look it up online. And I think the other big thing is in July, the county will actually be sending out postcards to all registered voters.
Oh, because of the
redistricting.
Right, the redistricting part, right.
So we will actually, so if you don't get a postcard from us in July, then you know you're probably not registered or need to re-register.
Okay, watch for the postcard.
Yeah.
Or go on the Hennepin County website.
Yeah.
And then, I remember it was easy to find, because when I saw it, I thought, oh, I didn't know that I could do this.
Yeah, it's great. It's just a brand new tool that was introduced in just 2 years ago. So we're very excited about it, and I think it's a great tool for anyone that just wants to double check.
Right. So that you can go and do that. Now, what are the different ways that people can register to vote? Where can they go, or how can they get the information and go through that process?
Well, there really are two primary
Okay.
ways. One is to do it ahead of time.
Okay.
And you can do it by mail, you can do it by in person. There are forms on the website.
Okay.
You can pick them up at the libraries. There are lots of ways to get a voter registration application by calling us at Hennepin County. We will send you one. And
yeah, we'll have the phone number up.
yes, and then either mail it back
Uh-huh.
or sometimes we get them delivered.
Okay.
But so there's doing that ahead of time, or the other option is to register on election day.
Okay.
The big difference is that on election day, if someone is going to register, they need to show ID at the time.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because you need to list your ID on the voter registration form, right?
you do. That is one of the criteria.
But on election day, you have to physically have it with you.
On election day, if you're going to register on election day, you have to have some form of ID. Yes.
Okay, so they can go on the website and get an application. Now, you can get it from your city halls too, can't you?
Yes, that's correct. You can get it from City Hall. Any of the city election officials
Okay.
would be happy to help.
And libraries, and then
Libraries.
Hennepin County offices?
Yeah, but we're downtown. Nobody
Okay, right.
wants to.
Well, can you get it from like the county service centers?
Yes.
Okay.
And then also, if people do their driver's license, so when they update their driver's
right,
license,
right.
there is a checkbox that you can do on the driver's license.
Oh, so that's a really easy way for people to
It
register.
is. Yes.
Because they're providing all the information anyway, right?
Yeah. If they're updating their driver's
Right.
license, it's a great tool.
So that we'll move on now. What's important to remember when you're filling out this form? We'll put the form up on the screen so people can look at it as we're talking about it. But what's important to remember when you're filling out this form? Because you might have gotten at any of these spots you're looking at and you think, oh, all right, how am I going to be sure I do it right?
Well, I think there's some mandatory things on
Okay.
the voter registration application. The really nice part is that those are shaded.
Ah,
So if
okay.
you look at the voter registration application,
Okay.
it's actually shaded on the mandatory parts and the
Ah,
required parts.
okay.
I think the other big thing is to make sure that the address is complete. Sometimes people will not necessarily put the north or the south.
Oh, okay.
And that can really make a difference
Oh,
when we're
right, right.
entering in the information. And then to just print legibly. We
Ah.
really appreciate that.
Yeah, you have to deal with all of it when it comes
Yeah.
into you, right?
And we want to make sure we get it right.
Oh, definitely. So be sure to have a complete address as you're filling it out.
Yes.
Any other areas where you sometimes find problems?
Sometimes we see date of birth.
Okay.
So to make sure put the date of birth in, and that's how we confirm that you're 18
Oh,
or
right,
or
right.
older.
Right.
And then of course the signature to
Uh-huh.
confirm that you do meet the eligibility requirements.
And you're attesting to the fact that everything on there is
Yes.
correct, right?
Yes. Let's see.
Okay, what kind
Yeah.
of timelines are important in filling out this application?
Well, we do take the applications all year round.
Okay.
But 21 days before each election is
right.
the key date because that's when voter registration cuts off. And the reason we do that is so that we can prepare the books for election day and
Oh,
get
right.
them printed
So-
in time.
So they can get out to every city.
Yes. Now, if there is an application submitted
Mm-hmm.
and we get it, maybe it comes in a week before the election.
Okay.
We could send a letter saying it's called a notice of late registration.
Uh-huh.
And the notice of late registration will say, we're really sorry, but you missed the 21-day
Right.
deadline. But you can bring that along with you to the polling
Ah.
place. So we take them all
Okay,
the time.
so that helps.
Yeah.
And so, like, we'll encourage the people watching us, if you aren't registered, take the time now when it's
Yes.
not, it isn't the deadline, you aren't facing when you need to get it in, and take the time now to get it registered. Just
And-
stop at one of the places that we mentioned, or go on the internet,
Yes.
because that's an easy place to print out the application.
Yes, and we are so excited to help people right now, and we're ready. So this is a good time to really take care of those things.
So hopefully some of the people out
Yeah.
watching us will listen and follow through on what you were telling
Great.
them. Now, returning the application, there's probably a number of places you can bring it back to. Now, you can mail it in, obviously,
Right.
but are there other places that you can turn it in?
You can turn it in at City Hall.
Okay.
You can also turn it in just by mail, put a stamp on it and mail it to us, and that's probably the best way to.
Okay. And then when you're all through and you've turned it in, if you're in doubt at all, you should either get a card back or look on that registry place on the Hennepin County website.
Yes.
And that'll verify that you are ready to go.
Yes. So we do send a postcard after we receive the card, and then we send a postcard to confirm the registration.
Now, those cards don't need to be brought to the polls, though, right?
Right.
Okay. That's just to let you know that you're ready to go.
That's exactly. And to also let you know where you go and vote. And,
Oh, yeah, your polling place.
and the districts that you live in.
Right. And we're glad that you're interested in city issues, and we ask you to join us again next week, because we'll be carrying on with our candidates from various cities all the way through election time, through September and through October. So we hope that you'll join us next week. Thank you for being with us, and come back again. Bye.